Well, good morning. Here we are on Sam Rayburn, the 5th stop this year on the Bassmaster Elite Series. There's my good buddy Ish Monroe. We caught a fish yet, Ish? No fish. He said there's no bass in Texas. Do not believe him. It's practice, remember that. Anyway, this is the Bassmaster Toyota Texas Fest. Awesome event. It's the hybrid. It's the new Toyota Texas Bass Classic, pretty much. Bassmaster is putting this event on this year. It's going to be a great event. We're at Sam Rayburn. It is May 15th today, actually. There's Tommy Biffle. He's going back to the ramp. He forgot his marbles. Yes, that's what he did. He just said. Anyway, great lake. This lake's full of fish. It's been fishing spectacularly this year. A lot of big weights, big fish. 30-pound stringers. Takes huge weights to get a check. Some of the team tournaments I think I've seen, it took like maybe 21 or 22 just to get a check, and that was like 30th place or something like that. Anyway, Big Sam. I used to always call it my second home lake. I love it. It used to always fish to me very similar to Lake Fork. Felt right at home. Lots of grass, hydrilla, a lot of shoreline cover, a lot of deep structure. It's just got pretty much everything that a Great Lake should offer, including lots of bass. Had several years in the past where it's kind of been overshadowed by its friendly neighbor, Toledo Bend, about 30-40 miles away to the east. The kind of rival, I guess you could say. Toledo Bend has been tops for a long time. This year, I'm going to say that Sam Rayburn is back on top. It's clearly fishing way better than Toledo Bend this year in 2017. So anyway, excited to be here. I think it's going to be a really good tournament. Kind of in between. The bass are done spawning for the most part. There's some setting up out deep. It could be one on the topwater, it could be one flipping the shoreline grass, it could be one in the hydrilla, and it could be one fishing out deep, cranking, fishing deep brush piles. I had bites in all those places yesterday. So you just got to decide what's the best way you can catch the most big ones the fastest, and that is the $100,000 question. So I already found one school this morning, but I didn't make a cast at them because there was 2 boats right there. So I think they're bass. Don't know for sure. I'm just looking for some surface activity here early. We're on the east side of the lake, so this side will stay shaded longer in the morning. We have a 7 o'clock takeoff, which is kind of late. There's some hydrilla, so it means there's grass in here. That frog up there shallow. And there's grass out here. Hey, you know all this shoreline grass and stuff? I'm pretty sure it's just Kissimmee grass, aren't you? And I'm sure it was brought here from somebody from Florida, right? That's what because we used to not have this stuff. Okay, how can there not be a bass in here? You got everything, hydrilla, shoreline grass, pondweed. duckweed, whatever. What you got me in the grass? Here, pretty good sized scale. I can't tell you how big it was, but it wasn't a little one. So anyway, the water's clear enough and they're enough shallow that yesterday it's almost like sight fishing. I found the areas that had the most bass just by shooting through and looking, because you can see great. And I did find some areas where there was just a whole school of bass in a small area. And so far today I have seen very few bass. And the only one that was, you know, a big one. The rest have been little bitty. So, God, this is beautiful. That is telling me that this is not the place to be on the bank. Okay, there's a brim bed. See the brim bed? That's what I'm looking for. See all the brim on it? You can find a couple big ones of those. The big bass will be around them, and that is where you want to throw your topwater. Like my Kelly J. It's a brim imitating topwater. It's perfect for that. And I have one in the box. Tournament more than I'll do it, but even here in this grass, you can't really throw it. I have to throw a frog, but if you can find a big brim bed this time of year, post spawn like that, you know, maybe you find a great big one. That's a great place to catch a big fish on a topwater. So pay attention to the brim beds. You know where they are, fish around them for big bass. Didn't even hit the bottom. That was not the size we're looking for, though. That's what I came back here to find. Look at this guy. That's what I'm talking about. Look at that. Heck, come here, you hydrilla bass. Woo! That is what I came back here to look for, fish like this. That's a good solid, you know, 4-pounder, maybe a little better, maybe 4.5. Okay. Wait. And I haven't been back here hardly any time at all. And I hooked that little one. The sun's high. I can see these clumps of hydrilla. Saw a clump. Picked it apart. That was my second. I casted this stump, clump of grass, didn't get a bite. The very next clump, threw in there. There he was. So now I'm going to take my hooks off and see how many bites I can get. Okay, I got one on my worm right now with no hook. And he's swimming around doing the old dog with the leash deal. He's swimming. Swam straight out here to deep water. I'm gonna try to pull him up and maybe look. He feels like a pretty good fish. He's hugging the bottom. He's in 10 feet of water on the bottom. Come here, buddy. Here he comes. Oop, spit it out. He didn't come back. Felt like a pretty decent one. I don't think it was a 10 pounder, but I think it was a 2 or 3 pounder probably. Maybe a 3 or 4, but it was at least a. And he ran out of there fast like there was a bunch more. He took off. I chased him for a pretty good ways, so. A lot of times that means there's a bunch more in there. They run out of there fast. It's like they go, I got my food, I'm gonna keep it away from the rest of you. Hi, Kelly Jordon, day one recap. We are in the barn here at the weighing facility at the Coliseum. This is where you park if you have an over the slot, a 21 inch or an over. I had one today, fortunately. It was a good day. I caught them just like I did in practice. I fished everything I could today. Caught them from on the bank, on topwaters to 10-inch worms to deep cranking, and caught them every way I could. And the bigger ones definitely were shallow, the big ones I caught. So the deep fish were all turned into little bitty ones today, you know, 1.5 pound, 2 pounders. Didn't help me at all. And I caught my 2 biggest ones on a whopper plopper topwater today. So that was exciting. They were in one little ditch where I found a group of them, and I ran all the way there to get to it. In my first pass through there, I caught one of those big ones and came back through and caught the second one. So yeah, it was a good day. You know, I got something to build on tomorrow. There's some other anglers fishing some of the stuff around me that caught them really good today too, so that's encouraging. But there's a lot of pressure in some of those places. So anyway, the Cajun baby said he's gonna win. I don't know if I believe him or not, but he might do it. But we'll be, stay tuned. We'll see how we do tomorrow. It's always fun fishing Rayburn. Looking for great things tomorrow. Can't wait to get out there. Here we are, it's day 2. We're still waiting to check in. If you have a fish over 21 inches, you get to bring it in and weigh it in so you can have a fish going across the stage. I've got another one today. It's a 21 incher, but pretty cool. It's a whole different format. You know, I caught them again today. You know, okay, I have like almost 18 pounds, 17, 12, I think. Lost 3 great big ones. That kind of hurts, but I think we got it pretty good to be fishing tomorrow, so that's great. So, you know, if I can connect with more big ones tomorrow, you never know, but sure is fun fishing out there. They're biting really good, so always great being at Sam Rayburn in the Bassmaster Toyota Texas Bassfest. Hey everybody, Kelly Jordon here, wrapping it up. This is day 3 of the Bassmaster Toyota Texas Fest here on Sam Rayburn. It's been a great week. It was almost really great. Did not make the top 12 cut, so I don't get to fish the final day, but I'll be at the expo tomorrow. Made the top 50 cut and all. Had a really great practice, had a really strong tournament plan, and I got the bites to do really, really well. And I lost a lot of big fish. So did a lot of people in this tournament. So I think one of the keys here was to be on enough big ones to where you can recover, or you can get enough bites to where you can lose a couple a day. They fight really hard this time of year. Post spawn, man, they're just amped up. They're hot. The water's warming up. They got a lot of energy. They fight real hard. The grass is growing up. It's really thick. I lost a lot of big fish because they buried up in the grass, and I was caught most of my big fish or hooked them on a big topwater. And the treble hooks would get hooked in that grass and they would ball up, and they were able to shake free with that leverage of the bait being hooked in the grass. Unfortunately, I lost several big ones. I lost a great big one today. It was my first bite of the morning on a big topwater. It was probably a 7-pounder, and that was not fun either. It was a great strike and awesome, but I lost it as well. And I caught an over again today, 3rd day in a row, but I caught it. I threw a big worm right back in the same spot where I lost that big fish on a topwater and caught the over that I caught today. But this week, the number 1 rod I use is the White Eyes 2 Series, my signature series, Kelly Jordon, 7-foot 6-inch rod. That's what I was throwing my big topwaters on. I was throwing on braid. You know, braid is really probably the best thing you can throw big topwaters on, or a lot of topwaters that maybe don't have props on them to wrap up the braid in. But the reason is these big topwaters have big hooks. At the end of a long cast, if you're not using braid, it's really hard to get a hook in them. So you need braid. It has no stretch, of course. And then it's important to have a rod like my 7.6 that is a medium heavy. It's strong enough to throw those big heavy topwaters a long way, cover a lot of water. It still has that real nice soft tip that's a little bit forgiving. Set the hook in there hard, but it gives you a little bit of play. All of my signature series rods have it. It's kind of like a little more of a parabolic bend, not totally, but it has a really nice softer tip that aids in your sensitivity, aids in also playing a fish, and you feel strikes better, gives you a little bit of extra cushion if you're using treble hook baits. But about 1/3 of the way down, you have the brick wall of a medium heavy rod and have a lot of leverage to set the hook, pull them out of heavy cover, all that kind of stuff. But that was the key to this week. Like I said, it was awesome. I had some great strikes on topwater. I just didn't land them all, but that's to be expected sometimes. Caught some great fish, saw some great fish, got a nice check. On to the next one. It's been a great week.